Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. Today, we're doing a video on, is it possible to do well with non-seasonal units? So, picture this, you're a new player, or newish, and you haven't really unlocked any seasons. You haven't done any seasonal challenges, and you're not really interested in that. You just are using your honor to buy units, and you just don't play enough to be doing all the challenges and stuff like that. Granted, it's going to take you a lot of honor to get these units, but nonetheless, this is a non-seasonal warband that I've gone for, purely for the reason to see if it was still possible. And then you also know something else different. I'm back to playing dual blades. The frustration of shortbow in the end has gotten to me, not meaning that I'm not going to play it again. I'm just going back to my roots for a little while to dual blade, and we'll see how that goes for a while. Not saying it's much of an improvement, but it's feeling alright, a lot better than I thought it would. Anyway, let's get into the warband and the units, and let's go through my thinking with them and stuff like that. Right, first up in my warband, of course, the Mace Sergeants, the newest edition, and I think probably the best unit in the game purely because it's given to you fresh as a new player without having to do anything, and they stomp. They do so well, and with the current shield meta, these guys are incredible. Obviously, full masteried out. Not that great of doctrines. I really should put some better things on these. I just haven't. 2 greens, blunt pen and blunt damage. We're going to have a breakthrough and an assassination, and then the last one is a piercing defense doctrine. So that's our first one on the list. Moving on to the second one. So my second one is obviously Iron Reapers. You can see I've gone for the very shield breaking build with this, just because there's so many Imperial Spears around that I was like, I'm going to need something to break them down. Now this is Iron Reapers before the buff that they are about to receive. So obviously not quite up to scratch, but you know, they have big mace, do blunt damage, and that's kind of what I was after. In terms of doctrines for these guys, we're looking at 90 increased blunt damage by 90, blunt defense and 440 health, a siege fighter, breakthrough, and assassination. Moving on, Dagger X Lancers. I just thought if there was an occasion where I would need to use them, I would, I could bring these in and maybe wipe, but I don't know if it's actually that smart. If you're not using YOLO Cav with a CC immunity, there's quite a lot of Fortebraccios and stuff around at the moment, so it can be quite difficult to use, but I thought I'd give them a go and chuck them in, considering they're in the honor tree, and they're probably the best Cav you can buy from the honor tree. So yeah, in terms of doctrines, we have the new Epic Assault Doctrine. Basically increases damage every time it hits something per model of Cav. Then we've got a reduced damage taken by 40% while charging. We have a breakthrough, a hero damage doctrine with an extra 90 armor pen, and then a slashing defense doctrine. That's probably not the right one to put on there. Probably piercing would work better considering pikes. But yeah, that's what we've got. And then moving on to the last one. And last off, we have Archer Militia. Now, you're probably thinking, why did you bring Arch Militia? That's a terrible idea. They don't do anything, and yes, you would be right. But I had some leftover leadership, and I was like, I'm going to see how many trebs I can bait with these guys. Just get them to waste as many trebs as I can get them to do. Put them in a stupid place that makes them look like I've just sort of noobly chucked them out. And yeah, they're out in the open, so people would treb them. And it seems to work. It's a good bit of treb baiting. Unfortunately, I didn't dress them up so they would look expensive, but from a distance, they look like some juicy archers that you're going to get loads of leadership from. So, yeah, that's the warband. And here we are. We have made it into the battle, into the siege, and we are going to start out with the Archer Militia. As you'll see, I'm just going to literally place this on a wall just to bait as many trebs as I can. In terms of Grey Archers, as I said earlier, it's not worth taking for any damage. No point putting any good doctrines on these or anything like that. Maybe you could put some health doctrines, but it's not going to help them. Literally, the job is to become just human treb food. But now we just got the start to the game. Just got a few people with ladders, and working into it. I also thought this concept of a warband that doesn't involve seasonal units could be an interesting one. I was sort of intrigued myself to see if it still had any sort of viability with these units. I know that there was a few that obviously are outstanding, like Imperial Shields. So I didn't really want to use those at this current point in time because we all know they're really good. We know they stand up against everything. But apart from Imperial Spears, even, I wanted to see what was worth using, what you could get away with without doing any seasonals, without paying for any unit challenges to be completed, without doing anything like that, and just if you were just playing solidly for honor. And going like that. The kind of thing that made me think of this, I had my nephew over this weekend and I put him on the laptop playing this game, and he was just working his way through the honor tree, and it was quite interesting to watch. So I was like, I wonder if it's possible to come up with a good warband for now. So that's why we've got the units we've got. We've gone very blunt damage heavy, that I think is necessary at this point in time, because obviously the amount of shields, you got the Murmillows and you've got the Imperial Spears. So now we're just putting the Arch Militia in the line of fire. Very enticing. They've got the towers, well, they had their towers close. We've got this one almost up. I think the other one's getting up there as well. So we are just having those as a lovely, enticing thing to get rid of a Treb that I think actually is the best value you're going to get out of these guys, especially with the shields. The shields, they're not going to do anything. They wouldn't do anything even if they weren't shields, if it wasn't a shield meta. And the Treb has come in nicely. We've got one Treb out of it already. We can see there. That is really nice. We just missed it, but there's a big old sort of fiery patch to where that is. So that's very good. And now I'm just sort of aiming them a bit better. I think a cannon also shot in there as well. So, but that's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood. That's Treb blood. And now I'm like working out what sort of formation would be best. So I was like, actually, really go as long as you can with the formation. So they have to kind of choose where they put a Treb. Yeah, and now they're actually shooting as well. That's not going to do anything. I managed to just roll that Regenerii throw. That would have been an instant death if I wasn't careful there. And you'll notice I'm obviously playing dual blades now. Back to dual blades. I've given shortbow my best shot, pardon the pun. But it just needs something. I feel kind of useless half the time. Where obviously this one, I've taken shuriken throw because I feel like the cooldown for Infiltrator is way too long. If the cooldown was maybe like 20 seconds, I could deal with it, but 39 seconds, it just feels like a wasted ability after you've done something. And you can't get involved in any of these sort of AoE fights or the big battles if you don't have shuriken. So like for this, for example, I'm just going to slow down some of his units so they can't all get there on time. They don't get to A on time. So if we do like that, and it's decent damage, you know, it's a 1,200 each, and then all followed up with a 900 bleed, and it also gives me stealth that for 1.2 seconds that is kind of very valuable. So my fishing rod or my fishing bait for Trebs isn't attracting anymore, so I think we're almost at the point where it's time to change to the old Mace Sergeants and see what they can bring to the table. I'm pretty sure they'll do some good job. Mace Sergeants, I think, are the most, well, they're not underrated by any means, but they are so good for 150 leadership. No unit kit resupplies. You know, they're incredible. But you have to have them full mastered. So I think I've said this before, but if you're a new player and you're watching this and you have Mace Sergeants but you haven't leveled them, level those puppies to full and fully master them, and use these guys to help you level everything else. These should always be part of your warband up to the point until you have maybe 30 units in your barracks, until you have a few choices. But these guys are just so strong, as you'll see in this. So we're getting into a little bit of a tussle here, going with the ult to try and take this pike out into the butterfly. Nice little thing, little little assist, and then a double shuriken throw. Shuriken is not dead. It's not dead, it's just got less range and higher cooldown. And now we're charging with the Mace Sergeants. That the numbers coming up are so nice. Obviously, both abilities heal you 15% of your health, so you want to stagger them in a quite nice way. We pick up another kill there with the Mace Sergeants. Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit trebbed right now. It's actually a really decent angle for a treb. I never knew that existed, but we didn't lose too many. We're down to 24 out of 28, I believe, so that's not bad. But a first good showing from the Mace Sergeants. I was very, very pleased with them. Again, as I said, one of my favourite new units. I think you get the most value out of them considering their 150 leadership. And now we're moving towards B. It looks like they're starting to gather up and get ready to push. We see these marmalades over here coming up. I'm a bit wary that they're going to charge me, so I'm sort of taking one side, and my better judgment says maybe we shouldn't go up here. I think it will probably end bad for us, especially with all the shields up there. So turn around with these guys here and get back down here. And it looks like we're going to be heading to B because B's under a bit of trouble right now. But to the Mace Sergeants, you would think in this engagement with Madao and all that in here, Imperial Spears, that sort of flame for us, you'd think this whole thing would be wiped. But we shove these in here, and my main goal as my hero right here was to try and throw my shurikens at the flamers. So I'm trying to just sneak around back and get a few hits into either make him move them with worry that he's going to lose his flamers, or just kill them outright. And then we start coming in here. Lovely cav charge up there, wiping those Roman shields and the Imperial Spears out, or just damaging them quite a bit. But we still have Mace Sergeants left. They're still churning away. They're still capturing, killing things. I'm just I'm on the assist game at the moment. Again, lobbing out the shurikens, getting those bleeds and the slows rolling. I think the slow is probably the most important thing at the moment. And we're down to 10 left, so they're doing something. They're working away. I'm sort of bringing them in now, charging them in, and we're seeing if we can pick up anything else with them. Pick up another hero there. Pick up another one there. Lovely little plays going on. And we're down to 9 Mace Sergeants and 48 kills. So I really like, and you know, that's 48 kills of bigger units than themselves in terms of higher leadership, higher tier units. So yeah, it's such a good trade-off. 49 of those, and they're still going. We're moving on to C. Obviously, they're only Martellatori coming in here, but I'm bringing my Mace Sergeants, and 9 of them will eat all of these up very, very quickly. That adds to their tally quite nicely, kind of making their tally look a little bit nicer than it was, but it is kind of fake because that is just Martellatori. It's basically nothing. But yeah, I'm going to take 60 kills for them, and now we're going to move on to the Iron Reapers. That it's been a long time since I played with the Iron Reapers. They used to be a favorite unit of mine, but I do find them quite sluggish. I'm looking forward to seeing what the update does with them. I'm sure they'll be good. Might be still a little bit squishy, but they won't be able to get dazed or knocked down, I hear, so that's good. But now we got a big engagement here. I've just changed them over to flail because I'm kind of imagining there's going to be some shields soon, and I thought, you know what, let me take a little look up the stairs, see if there's anything going to flank us. And now I'm actively looking like I'm going to go get involved in this fight up here, so that these guys will bring their shields up and get a bit overconfident. And now we're going to try and catch them out as they try and catch these the new pikes out, the samurais. And we're in with the maces and absolutely slaughtering these shields. We put on Tiger Step on, and that is those shields dealt with. We're going to follow with a kill on this pike, and we might even grab this one too. Very nice. And we still got, what, 14 I think it is? I can't really see it on my editing screen here. 14 of those guys left. And now it's just heading to C to break that deadlock. We've got Mace Sergeants here that makes me slightly nervous for my Iron Reapers, actually. But I figured out for the Mace Sergeants, when you go against them with Iron Reapers, you want to change to wield your sword instead of your mace. That sounds strange, but that is the best way to kill these. And there we go. We've changed to sword, and that should do it. We grab another kill there. We're gonna miss our shuriken. Another kill there. Mace Sergeant's all gone, and we've still got a good amount of Iron Reapers left. So it's time to give him a little bit of heal. I feel like the team's doing pretty well at the moment. We're a bit low on B. We've got a little bit more time left that we can hold C for. But so far doing quite well. But I think at this point, I think we've overcommitted a little bit to B, and there is a high chance that we end up getting back capped on C. But not to matter, means a longer video and more fighting to be done. I noticed up at the top there, I see some Javs, just some Jav Sergeants. That at the moment, Jav Sergeants are really, really strong. In the right hands, they feel great. Obviously, because they can like basically reload their ammunition with the mastery. But yeah, they feel really good. I'm not a fan though of them. I don't like how their formations are. They kind of feels weird. I'm much more of an Imperial Jav sort of guy. So here we go. We saw them. There's not much they can do. I'm going to try and dodge the first one of those. We go in with Tiger Step, and the shields should, the Jav Sergeants should all collapse to that. It's not a problem. That's them all gone, and he yeets out of there down the bridge, and that's a lovely kill. But unfortunately, C is looking under a lot of pressure, and I think we're about to lose it with 1:30 to go. That's really unfortunate. But now it's going to be heading back to base, seeing what we can get from that. I thought at this point, I'm like, maybe I should just see how long we can hold B for, get that timer down, get some units out the way. I was like, in my head, I still had the Dagger Axe Lancers to go and stuff, so I was like, this will be fine. Probably charge those too early. And now they're in Tiger Stepping. They actually don't do as much as I was hoping, but they do stay alive a lot longer. I really should have changed them to maces earlier, but it doesn't really matter. We're just on the bleed game. We're just chucking in our shurikens as much as we can, hiding behind the incredibly strong Imperial Spears, and yeah, you'll see the bleeds just rolling away. Of course, it doesn't. The runes we used to have 25% further and 1.5 seconds off the cooldown, but yeah, this still works well. And at this point, I'm like, yep, that'll do. We've picked up a few kills from that. There's not much else we can do. It is time to get back to base, and I just ignore that dual blades. I don't want that fight. I want to go and get my units, start protecting base, because there could be a big push at any minute now. So yeah, we got the Dagger Axe Lancers that, in hindsight, if without a spoiler, hindsight, I probably should have picked something else. I've never been that great at them, and I think there was just a bit too many pikes about for me to have done this. Yeah, it's a shame, but nonetheless, I was going to leave him in this room in a formation, just ready to come out the door and yeah, get on point and be able to wipe anything off that we need. What I should have really done is take him around the back and then done a back charge, but fortunately or unfortunately, they were pressurizing us quite heavily, and yeah, we'll find out what happens with that. But it definitely didn't go as well as the Mace Sergeants or the Iron Reapers. So now we're at the waiting stage. I was considering getting out the Treb bait, but I thought actually, we need actually a good unit to get in there. And now they're starting to roll up on us. They're setting up as much artillery as they can. I can see 2 things going up that way, 3 things, cannons, grape shots. So they want this point. They are quite dedicated to it. I see a Treb coming in as well. I'm looking down there to see if a back charge is possible. And then this guy obviously is trying to wipe out our artillery. So we'll get the assist on him. And at this point, I'm like, do I do it? They're all coming up. And unfortunately, I completely missed the fact that there are walking pikemen walking up right now. And we just get, slaughtered. I did try and press the other button, the come back to me button. But, yeah, terrible. That was a bad play. I really could have done so much better by leaping around the back or doing something and coming through like I am now. I don't know why I just didn't do this. But at this point, I was like trying to find this guy and couldn't find him. Slowed those two, trying to get in for that that pike. And I knew I was going to die here, so I was like, how far? I'm just going to see if I can hide around here and just drag as many of them away from the fight as possible. And fortunately, 3 of them decide to come after me. So that's 3 less on the point. And we're just going to do a little fast forward through the death. But that's 3 less on the point when we were kind of struggling. So I was actually not displeased with that, to be honest. I probably could have ran a lot further away. That would have been even better. But yeah, if you're in a sticky situation like that and you know you're going to die, just try and take them as far away from their objective as you can, because that's one person going one way and 3 people were chasing you. So yeah, whatever you're taking from the defense, you're taking 3 away or 2 away from the attack. And now we're on the clear up stage. I think the units, we were pretty even, but that last push there, we've managed to push it back. I've still got the mace sergeants left. Pick up another kill there. Start going in with this guy. Getting slapped by the maul a little bit. Just auto-attacking him now, just trying to get any sort of damage down on him. And yeah, still pleased that I've got the mace sergeants around, just in case they did manage to come in with anything. I've got 9 of them. That doesn't sound like much, but I think they would still manage to do the job, to be honest. And then we also have some Falcos. That's always nice to just nail the point. But at this stage, I am taking a breath, because it is. I was really wanting to get a decent bit of gameplay for this video, and yeah, I only did about 3 games, but some of them were atrocious, and then it took me to kind of think about what warband I really wanted, because initially I was using like halberdiers and stuff like that, and yeah, it didn't really work very well. Where this was refined towards the anti-shielding, so I think this is the way to go if you want to build a honor warband, 100%. Getting in here, nice little hit. I don't know if they've buffed the ambush. Ambush feels like it's hitting harder than it was last season, so that's always nice. Got the mace sergeants charging in. There's not really much else to get here. I'm just playing it safe at this point. Yeah, I really wanted this win. You know when you get invested in a game, you're like in a siege and you've done quite well, and you're like, it'd be a real shame to lose this at this point. So yeah, mace sergeant's getting in, gets stomped back. We that spear, get a little assist on him. Another assist. This is gonna be assist central. Start ulting this short sword. Another assist. After this maul, the whole team is piling on. He's slammed me back. And 30 seconds left to go. And it looks like we've sealed this game. Get knocked down by the maul. Not that fun. He's going in for a big slam. That's everything else knocked down. I mean, mauls are something else. Pick up the kill on him, though. Heading up the stairs, having a look around. Little heal. He's going to get maybe 2-3 ticks of heal in. And then head back up the stairs to see if we can bag 1 or 2 more. Throw in the shurikens, get those bleeds rolling, and then another one, and in we go. See if we can pick that up, and we get that last kill for the end of the game with the honor warband. Yeah, very pleased. And I was like, oh, how did I not get MVP? I got like 150 kills, and then I look at this guy up top. 21 hero kills, 3 deaths, 17 things, 111 unit kills, and then me 13 hero kills, 1 death, 10 assists, or 16 assists, sorry, and 150 unit kills. So well done to that guy at the top. Solid effort. But really great game. Enjoyed it a lot. And yes, I can confirm a just honor warband does work very well these days. It is still achievable to pull top of the game with this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. If you haven't subscribed and you like my content, I'd really appreciate the sub. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.